Hey, what's up, everybody? So I am going to get into the psychology behind what's going on in the market. But first, I just need to update everybody on what's going on in China. It's actually spreading in Europe as well. Okay. Shanghai Disney closed. EU's countries. They're thinking about banning Russian energy. We know that, right? Australia just banned exports to Russia. Baker Hughes, Halliburton, Schlumberger rejects investments projects in Russia. So they're not. So we know that already, right? So now you say to yourself, okay, what else is going on? Well, Boeing just had a jet go down in China over the evening. Next, market has been strong on light volume. Now I'm going to mention the specific numbers from last week to help you figure this out. And I'll just go into it real quick. The NASDAQ was up 11% from its low on Monday. So people are like, oh, well, this week's going to mirror last week. Yeah, that is highly unlikely that the NASDAQ is going to go up another 11%. Now, we'll talk about the psychology. The psychology is they're going to buy the dip on Monday. Oh, the futures are dipping. We're going to buy that. But I don't believe that. I'm looking for the market to fall, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, did we hit a bottom, or was it just a bounce up? That's what people are saying. So the SPY is strong. The NASDAQ has more to prove. Tech stocks, and I'm going to bring up and talk about specific tech stocks that don't have earnings still, that are off the chain. Okay, but first, the Fed will be stronger with their words come the second week in April. So I'm expecting possibly 75 basis point raise. Now we look at the 10-year just from this morning, it already spiked 8 basis points. So other people are thinking the same way as Matt. Even the two-year, which has been under 2% forever, is now 2%. Okay, so what else? Okay, here's another reason the markets are strong. U.S. investors, right? We're going to avoid China. Oh, we don't want anything to do with China. There's a war in Europe, so we don't want anything to do in Europe. So now we have all this money. What to do? Well, the U.S. market just took a dump on itself. Let's buy it up last week. Okay, makes sense. Exactly. What else? Oh, I wanted to share one other thing with you. Let me just see if I had took a picture of it before. These are just some numbers. So here we go. Ready? Inflation is at a 40-year high, okay? The 10-year, which was at 2.15 on Thursday, is now closing out on like 2.23, up 8 basis points, okay? Key interest rate, okay? Now, for all the pricings we've seen, the S&P is only 7% from its all-time high, 7% from its record, which was on January 3rd. So people are talking about, okay, we're going to fall into a bear market. Some people are talking about if the Fed doesn't act, we're going to be in recession. Okay, stocks have to catch up. Now, maybe I'll talk about my position. Let me put this down. Okay, I'll take one more thing. Moreover, the ratio of market capitalization over our GDP of our country is 185%, which is considered significantly overbought. Okay, then you have other. Okay, so I want to talk about a couple of stocks, and then I'm going to talk about my position. All right, so a couple of stocks that I just put on my radar. Moderna. You know what? Let me just bring up the chart of Moderna for you guys. Why? Because I started talking about this stock at 130. I think I bought some options in it. So with COVID spiking, let me just see if the chart is actually up. Oh, look at it. It worked. It worked for me. Hey. Okay. So what was it? It was 130 right about here. Here's probably where I bought it, actually. It went down, right? It went down right after I bought it. Then it spiked to 137, 142. Guess what? Heavy volume, heavy volume, heavy volume, heavy volume. Why? Because COVID cases are spiking. There's a B2 variant of Omicron, okay? So I spoke to my buddy, and I mentioned this on the live stream or the video the other day. I spoke to one of my best friends who runs clinics to test people. Oh, this is a good story as well. All right, so he runs clinics to test people. Guess what? The funding from the U.S. government to test non-insured people's where they don't have insurance to cover it is going to go away within a matter of weeks. So let's say China's spiking, and I think we're going to have a spring spike. China's spiking. Europe is on the way up. What if we have that? And then people that don't have insurance can't get tested. So all those lines we saw for free testing won't be there anymore. Good deal for us that have insurance. But if you don't have insurance, can't get tested. Shit, that makes sense for it to spread more. Okay, more stocks to talk about, and then I'll take some questions. So let's look at LAC, right? Lithium America came out with earnings last week. Shoot, they didn't earn anything, but they have a market capitalization of $3.76 billion. And if you look at the chart of LAC, you know what? I will bring up the chart because I want you guys to make money. So rather than talking about it, I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to see. Because as soon as demand goes away, man, this one will come down about 20%. So let me bring it up. Boom, there it is. Okay, love it. All right, so it's energy related. People know that. Every time it hits $23.50, it gets bought up to about $28 and change. Great, $23.50 again. Oh, 24 is probably $23.50. That was an awful day. $3.14, right? That was Monday of last week where they were selling and then they bought up the dip and they've been buying it ever since. So low volume the next day because no one believed it. Stronger volume. Oh, it's an energy. But we're not doing anything like this. So yes, if you follow the psychology of trading today, let's say today starts out strong, right? And you get a bounce to like 29 and change, and then the day turns ugly. Guess what's going to happen? That stock's going to go down. All right. So I'm just showing you highs and lows. Okay, here, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. A Chinese company, okay, PDD, okay? They reported earnings. They missed revenue, okay? The money they brought in. They missed revenue by 10%. That's horrible, Matt. It's a Chinese company. How much is it down today? Well, down today, it's up 6.4% today. So you get what I'm saying, right? Sometimes your stocks, your companies come out with earnings, right? And they're like, hey, we earned this. You're like, oh, that's awesome. And it spikes a little higher and then it just falls. And you're like, how's it down 10% pre-market? Same thing. How is this stock up 6.68% pre-market? Okay, then you have the SPY up 0.01. So again, we're back to psychology here. We had 5 straight days. People were calling the bottom last Monday. So psychology, what do you think they're going to do today on the dip? On the futures dip, they're buying. On the morning dip, if there's a dip on the morning, they're going to buy. I know it's counter to what I'm telling you. So here it is. They're going to buy, but I still think the market's selling off. So I think they're giving us a good chance to get in. Now, let's just assume the market, let's play both sides. Let's assume the market goes up today, okay? That would be 6 straight days. So then you go into tomorrow and you're like, oh, okay, the market's gonna go up 7 straight days, something like that. It's not gonna go up every day. It's not going up 11% this week, the NASDAQ. The SPY is not going up 7% this week. That is just, it's not happening. So then the psychology comes in. When do people start taking profits? Well, as soon as volume lessens up on certain stocks. So you can see something like huge greens, which is huge inflow, but it's getting smaller and smaller. That means the tides are turning. Okay, so let's just, let me just see if I have any other stocks up here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, my position in UVXY. Okay, yeah. So this is all leading into my UVXY position, right? I'm in calls, which I'm rarely in because I'm always in puts because I say all the UVXY does is go down. But for all the reasons that I've stated this morning, all right? Not to mention my video over the weekend where I talked about my friends in Belarus that only can get the Belarus currency, the Russian ruble, or the Chinese yuan from their banks, okay? Then I made another video, which I'm going to be dropping today, and I'm going to explain this one real quick because somebody shorted coin, okay? A major player announced it on Friday. Now, here's what he said. He said coin was as high as, what, 270? Now it's half that price. We'll just use large numbers like that, half the price, okay? Then he says, okay, well, their revenue number, okay, and their earnings forecast have been cut in half. So we were in highs in November, December, January, okay? They cut the revenue in half, the forecast in half. They cut the price in half. Great. So all the analytics are still the same. If they cut the price and they cut the earnings and they cut the forecast, everything in half, they still have the same valuation. They're still overvalued in this gentleman's mind. Now, there are a lot of companies like that. Even Apple came out. Now, this is what it gets me also. Sorry, I guess I'm venting a little. Who wants to buy an Apple Porsche? Did you see that survey over the weekend? Who would like to buy an Apple Porsche? Now, they didn't even announce they're making an Apple Porsche, but yet they're stirring it up. It's like by the rumor, right? When Apple was doing the 13, it was going to be a satellite phone. Remember? Satellite Globalstat was going to get the contract or whatever. Globalstat shot up. It was BS. It's like rumors. Apple is actually struggling with supply chain issues. That is a fact. All right, let me just see if I have any more stocks I wanted to share, and then I'll take a couple questions. Oh, somebody was majorly buying Starbucks. Wouldn't surprise me if it was that guy, Jim Cramer, for his charitable trust. What else? Oh, Mosaic. Remember Mosaic? I gave that one out last week. What happened? Went down right after I gave it out. Where is it now? 12% higher. I mean, okay, so let's take some questions, man. Let's take some questions. Yeah, hit that like button, please, people. I do this. I love doing this. I love sharing what I'm thinking. Now, I don't tell you guys, here's what you're going to trade. Now, I watch other people drop videos and they're like, here's what I'm buying this week. Here's what you should be buying this week. It's going up. It's going up. The markets are recovering. That's the silliest thing to say. You have to look at each stock alone and have a reason why you think it's going up. Now, me, my equity account, my stocks account only, okay? I sold out towards the middle of last week. I was happy to just secure it I was at a loss position. I'm like, this is a yearly account. I'd like to make 30 to 50% on it safely. So I missed out on some of those gains last week, but somebody said to me, what are you buying? I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything till the market retracts. Now, let's say the market goes up 2 more days before it retracts. I'm still going to get a better price than things are this morning. So that's what institutions, I mean, when they have hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and they want to buy into certain stocks. So they're saying to themselves, hey, I'm going to chase, I'm going to push it even higher, or I'm going to get a better price, or I'm just not going to invest in that stock. Well, we do that all the time, right? It's called patience, right? Patience, P-A-Y, pay, like pay us. Remember I used to do the pay me thing? That was good. We'll do that this week when I get paid. All right, Matt, wondering if the yield curve inverts anytime soon. I've heard about that possibly happening. I mean, everything that's going on. Okay, so let's take this back to the Fed. All right, the U.S., if the Fed doesn't act, the U.S. could go into recession. 33% of people that were surveyed on Wall Street going into last week said that was a strong possibility. 50% of those thought Europe could go into recession. So the Fed needs to act. Now, when the Fed acts, besides for raising interest rates, what they're going to do, which is the amount of money, the rate it costs you to borrow money to invest in our stock market, to buy a house, to credit cards, mortgages that are variable, things of that nature. So the Fed's words coming up, and I think they meet the second week in April. So I'll just say like April 10th, April 9th, April 11th, something to that extent. And they're going to come out and they're going to use much stronger language. And that's going to scare the shit out of the market. So you're going to see the 10-year, the 2-year, the 5-year go up. Those are good trackers. Now, for me, you guys want to know what I'm tracking today? I'm going to follow Tesla. Why? Because Tesla's got that whole EV thing going, right? It's the leader of the class, things of that nature. Everybody loves Tesla. Lucid's a good one too. It'll be right in its wake, kind of. But the point is, why I'm tracking it today is people could not wait to sell Tesla. Then they couldn't wait to buy Tesla, right? Same people that were telling you sell the shit out of the market last week ended up buying the market. Now, did they call you and say, hey, yeah, Matt, all that shit we were talking about the previous week, sell the market, sell the market, sell the market. We changed our minds on Monday afternoon. No one called me. Okay. I was in some good positions, made some profit. All right. Caterpillar. Okay. Yeah. So Caterpillar, if you think the market's going to be strong, Caterpillar is a good defensive play. It's a name that a lot of institutions like. However, if you go back to March 8th, right? Volume was good. Since March 8th, volume's been lighter. So it's really just following the trends of the market. So what's going to happen is if the market does throw up on itself, so here's what I told Carlos. Okay, so let's go just back to the psychology, because I think this will be most helpful for everybody. I mentioned tech went up 11% last week, okay? So of course, psychology, you're going to buy any dip. So Monday, yeah, we're going to buy until that changes. Now, what's going to make a change? Profit taking, okay? Unreasonable valuations. Let's go to Square, Block as it's called, Square, Block, right? It was $99, it was $102, $102. I'm like, great value in Block. You know where it is this morning, a week later? $139. $139, that's up 38% in a week. How about Robinhood, right? 1050 to what, 1380 something on Friday. Close to 40%, right? 30, 33%. So, okay, let's get another stock question up there. We got a couple more minutes. Hey, Matt, if the market dumps. Okay, so here's some key levels for the UVXY because I love transparency. So I started buying puts. My first contract was 1685 on the way down. Buying calls. Don't want to confuse. I'm in a losing position. I'm probably down 50% on my calls right now. Yeah, 50%. So here it is, 1685. It's going down. I thought 1622 was the bottom. Now, again, Friday surprised me with how strong. I mean, they made the move from the SPY from 440 to 445 like that. So again, light volume. And if, okay, here's psychology. Say I'm an institution. I have a lot of stock I want to sell. When am I going to sell it? At the top. Meaning, shit, if they want to push it on Friday, 440 to 445, I'm good to hang on. I'm going to hang on to this morning. If it opens low and they push it to 446, 447, I'm going to sell the shit out of my SPY. I might even short it. You get it? It's not like just because they want to sell it, they're eager to sell it on open. They're trying to get the best value. So, okay, if it dumps, the first level I'm looking for UVXY to make it back to would be that 1622 level. From 1622, 1651, then 1685. These are all levels you have to watch. Then it would not surprise me. 1706 is a good level. 1720, it would waver. So these are all levels that potentially could draw back. If it does spike, you obviously want to get max value. So if you're holding for the week, now let's say the market throws up today, same way the market was strong 5 days last week. Let's just say we'll play the opposite side of the coin. Let's just assume I might be right today for once. Okay. I'm right today and the market goes boop, and then sells off and then sells off. Well, guess what? Last week, we just had 5 straight green days in a row. Usually days follow each other. So on the first sell-off day, it is likely the next day will be a sell-off day. Then if you have 2 sell-off days in a row, it's likely the next one will be, because you have to have something to change your mind. Get it? So hit that like button. Let's get one more question. See if I can get someone's question on here. Hey, what do I expect for the SPY range today? Okay, so the SPY ranges, we'll talk about it. Now the SPY is at, I'll give you an estimate. Let's see, and then we'll cut it. All right, SPY, where's the SPY? Damn, I have so many stocks on here. Okay, SPY, here we go. Okay, so it's basically even pre-market 444.55, which is basically where it closed at. So 444 is a key level. On the way up, 447, 448 will be the next resistance. And I just mentioned that literally like 2 minutes ago when I was just talking about it. If you see the SPY dip in the morning, then 447 at 9:50 a.m., right? I might be buying some puts because I know that's resistance. So if it does top out at 447, 448, the next way down is where it is right now, 445 and a half. 444 and a half, sorry, 444.50. Why? Because that's where it closed that Friday. So that's a level. Now, if it breaks down that level, which again, in my opinion, it's going to do, I can't promise it's going to do it today because I don't control the psychology of people buying the market. I already announced it in the beginning of the video, why I just find it hard to believe people are buying the market, knowing the Fed is going to act soon, knowing there are some stocks that are overvalued. Yes, I get oil, energy stocks, but some of these other companies that they're just buying up because the market was up, right? They couldn't get rid of Netflix down to where it was, and then all of a sudden it's 30% higher. Please. I mean, I'm not stupid. I don't chase. Okay, so on the downside, again, we've had 4 straight inflow days on the SPY, kind of 5 because Monday should have been an inflow day with all the freaking buying. So 5, 6, 7, it would be 7 out of 8. I mean, it's due for a pullback. That's it. So where do I see the SPY going? On the way down. Okay, in a perfect world, SPY really needs to retest 428 for me to be happy. For me to believe the valuation in the market, the SPY must retest 428, and it probably needs to do it sometime in the next week or 2. That's just my opinion. Those are my beliefs. As far as today, though, again, monitor the levels. 448 should have resistance. 444, where it's at now, is a level. 440, if it breaks 440. So here's what I could see happening after 5 straight days of green and inflow for the market. If the market sells off and they decide that Monday is going to be a sell-off day, again, I could see the SPY teetering around 440, 439, 441, because they're unsure, hey, it's not going to go to the next level down. And again, we're talking about 5 straight green days inflow in the market. So I'm crazy right now because the SPY is strong. So I think the SPY might have to go up 2 points in order for it to draw back a little. So that's my thoughts on today. Everybody have a great day trading. We'll put this video on my Discord channel. For anybody that missed it, they can catch up what we're thinking. And